Welcome to Machuka Nyariego TV talk show, where we analyze socio-economic, political, and governance issues relating to our state, that is from local, national, and even international. And today, we will focus on the latest coalition in Kenya, that is the Haki Coalition, which was formed after or during the Limuru 3 conference in Limuru, especially drawing its leaders from Mount Kenya. Before we proceed, I will request those who are watching this channel for the first time to subscribe so that whenever we produce another video, YouTube will automatically notify them. This is a house of ideas where we analyze several issues as noted before, and those who are our resident subscribers, continue watching and sharing so that we can be able to reach a good number of our clients. And thank you for being our pillars. Back to our topic. A few weeks ago, leaders from Mount Kenya, largely drawn from the opposition, organized a Limuru conference. In this Limuru conference, one of the end results of the conference is the formation of the Haki Coalition, among other things. Probably I'll give out a background of the many political parties, actually 30 or 31 political parties which are in Mount Kenya region. And as to whether the political parties are likely to form a coalition or not, and if they form a coalition, what is likely to happen. All of that information will be gotten light here and during this interview. Prior to 2022 general elections, there were several political parties formed in Mount Kenya. Formed in Kenya, of which most of them had origin in Mount Kenya. I remember in another column where I did comment that these political parties are entirely for the UDA party, and they were meant to get the remnants, those who are not ready to support William Ruto and his brigade into government, but to join. And there are those people who fear popular parties because they feel that they will be rigged out during the party primaries as the Kenyan political parties are found. So they formed these political parties with an aim of having to bring everyone on board. That is, those who are not ready to join UDA but can join or can contest from another party but support William Ruto. So it was for the remnants, because if this was not going to happen, if they are not going to have several parties, it means it was going to be UDA versus Jubilee. And the end result is that there was that possibility of those who are in Jubilee or who are in Jubilee supporting their presidential candidate. So that was a tricky by the then party leaders to ensure that every remnant, every person, be it in which party, participates in an election as an individual from his party, but at the top supports William Ruto. So they were all William Ruto affiliated parties. Those were pretense when they were saying, I don't want to join what, and what. They were pretending to show that they are different political parties, and for its members to see that there was at least some bargain before we joined this coalition. They have been formed, and they have formed the government now. Unfortunately, most of these political parties that formed the government are now in trouble. They have nothing. They have been left out. They are worried. These same political parties, the more than 25, I understand there are about 31 political parties in which are active in central Kenya, or not active. They now want to form a coalition so that they can dislodge the regime in power in the next general election. Do you think, in your own opinion, that these 31 parties will be able to come together? To my honest opinion, there is an either way. There are those who have been frustrated because they formed the current government. They will easily join another coalition from the mountain, so that even without being given anything, they make sure that they get the current regime out of power, because they have frustrated them. They are very bitter. And getting genuine supporters is when you get individuals who are bitter about a given regime. Right now they are very bitter because they have not gotten anything. Those political parties leaders have not gotten anything. So they are very bitter. So there is a possibility of them not knowing what is going to happen ahead, coming together so that they can form a formidable force to dislodge, to serve Ruto a one-term presidency. It can also be no, because some of these political parties, their leaders are already in the government. Others are the CS, others are the governors. So it is next to impossible for them, because they don't see, once you are in government and you are eating so well as they are eating, they don't see whether there is any problem with those who are left out. Therefore, they will hardly agree with them to discard their political parties. And another issue concerning these political parties, when you have been recruited into a political office, and this is probably, say, the second year, buying political parties into a coalition in opposition, it becomes more difficult, because the government will disrupt, maybe by purchasing officials of those various political parties, so that whenever you go into a coalition talks, it becomes like the Tower of Babel, where you don't agree on any issue that has been put forward. So the government will also be in the midst of such a coalition meetings to ensure that they don't succeed. However, I said people who are fully frustrated can as well form a formidable coalition in which they are ready in all ways and means to dislodge the current government from power entirely. With the formation of this coalition by Jeremiah Kioni, Martha Karua also brings in some conflicts between Uhuru and Rigathi Gachagua. This is because Haki Coalition recognizes Uhuru Kenyatta as the Mount Kenya spokesman. On the other side, Rigathi Gachagua is on fighting to ensure that he is the sole Mount Kenya governorship. Furthermore, he is the man with the highest government rank from the Mount Kenya region, and this should automatically have put him into the mountains spokesman. So there is that disconnect on who is the mountainous spokesman. The conflict between Kioni, Uhuru and Gachagua can say it has put the Gachagua, not the Gachagua but the Kioni Martha Karua into position say 3, because in that arrangement probably Gachagua will take position 1 followed by Uhuru Kenyatta, because they have endorsed him in totality, and the coalition itself, the coalition officials, that's Martha Karua and Jeremiah Kioni, takes the third position. But what happens when live individuals, I call them live individuals because they are the ones who are now supposed to make sure that the government is put on toes, that's the likes of Jeremiah Kioni and Martha Karua, becomes position 3. Remember, the retired president cannot now give maybe money from his pocket for campaigns because he has no interest in a political position. But now he's taking position 2 because they have fully declared him the leader of Mount Kenya, meaning he is ahead of them. They have divided or diluted their power. The active members of politics and the inactive, they have divided between them, thus making them number 3 and number 2. If they had consolidated their power, then they could be strong and they could be neck to neck with Rigathi Gachagua in Mount Kenya. But now their power is diluted because it has to go to Uhuru Kenyatta, who is not interested in politics. Yes, they can talk to him, do many things, but is as much as they do that, is not that much interested in politics because he's not going to gain anything. Furthermore, he's recognized worldwide, he's a peacemaker, and therefore is very comfortable. I think there was a miscalculation by them putting him at the head. He was to be their patron, not the leader. So we have said that this party or a coalition was formed after Limuru 3, and Jeremiah Kioni has been tasked, Jeremiah Kioni and Mother Garua, to unite the people of the mountain, if possible, into one political party. Do you remember, in a democracy, it is very difficult to be united into one political parties or one political party. Let's assume that they succeed in uniting the various political parties into one huge political party. What is likely to happen and what is not likely to happen? What is likely to happen and what is not likely to happen? Okay, it will be possible that one Haki coalition, which will be turned into a political party, there will be lots of dictatorship. There will be a lot of dictatorship, more especially if it comes to a resource allocation. I'm assuming that they have been taken and they are in the National Assembly. Because of there is no any other voice, they will always be dictating because of the tailor of numbers. So it will be very difficult to give the right information to the citizens. And also, we have the issue of a democracy. Here, democracy will be on trial, more especially when it comes to party primaries. It will be very difficult for women and the young people, that's the youth, to get into a political office because of resources, because of who knows who in that political party. This is simply because you either are elected during the primaries or you wait till next time. Because in Mount Kenya, in most cases, once they have had or they have sponsored a given party, then if you stand by other parties, they are fallen to them. Therefore, it means you will not be effectively succeed, and this will affect young men and women, and women also in totality will be affected. Again, there will be much more, or they will dwell on the issue of negotiated democracy as it is done in the northern parts of Kenya. Because once you have about 20 people who are fighting for one position, it will become very difficult to unite these people. So they will go to hotels, pretend of participating in negotiations with specific individuals in their mind and giving them party tickets. I normally call this a negotiated dictatorship. They negotiate, then someone is given a ticket. This happened last year. Most people were crying up and down. This is the method that was used by the Jubilee. Largely was used by Jubilee, and even UDA used this method in some places whereby they could impose someone there, especially where they know they have a large following, so they could just impose anyone there. So negotiated democracy in Kenya, it has proved to turn to negotiated dictatorship, where they dictate. You have an aspiration, you want to aspire to be a governor, then you meet individuals in a table who are telling you, hey, you man, you don't qualify for this position, just go and stand as your MP in your constituency, and they throw you in that manner. And then that person who was wanted to be an MP in that given area is denied the ticket as a way of reciprocating your acceptance of narrowing down to the position of an MP, or from an MP to an MCA. So Aki Coalition, they should expect this. If they all unite, come 2027, they should expect that they will have difficulties in party primaries. People will cry, tears, blood, but the elections will not stop. Once you have been given that ticket, it's only the courts or party tribunals that can revoke it back, and which is time bound. So those are some of the issues that Jeremiah Kioni, Martha Karua should look at. And another issue is whether are these people, now that Gachagua is talking of one man, one vote, and they are also for one man, one vote. Gachagua is saying that he will not fight his brothers and the sisters, referring to the likes of Jeremiah Kioni and Martha Karua, that not again will he fight his brothers and the sisters. Are they sponsored to make this coalition for him? What is really happening in Mount Kenya? Thank you and have a blessed time.